I'm Margery Eagan, and then it's Live Music Friday with Paul Willis, a Boston-based rapper and educator who spent his career in nonprofits helping youth with his artistry. His latest project is Hip-Hop Leadership, part album and part teaching curriculum about what hip-hop can teach about leadership. It's all ahead on the first hour of Boston Public Radio, 89.7 GBH, live from the Boston Public Library. Meanwhile, we have got some great live music for you. We're going to talk with rapper, educator, and author Paul Willis about his latest album, book, and teaching curriculum about hip-hop's lessons in leadership. And we're going to hear some great music from him and his group. You're listening to Boston Public Radio, 89.7 GBH, live from the Boston Public Library and streaming at youtube.com/GBH News.
Welcome back to Boston Public Radio. Margery Eagan, Jim Braude, live at the library, streaming youtube.com/GBH News. The governor was supposed to be here today at noon. She had to change. She'll be here for an hour on May 9th from noon to 1. But now it's time for Live Music Friday, courtesy of Boston-based rapper, poet, and educator Paul Willis. He's out with a new album, but not just that. It's part of a book and curriculum around a brand new project called Hip-Hop Leadership. He'll explain more in a moment. But if you buy his book, it's out next Tuesday, you get access to his album a month early, hiphopleadershipbook.com. You can also find his music on Spotify, Bandcamp. Paul Willis is hip-hop. Here he is with his band performing Chapter 10, Community Building. Welcome to you all.
Moves, you want to kick us off?
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We got us, that's community. We got us, that's community. We got us, that's community. We got us, that's community.
Like-minded individual, giving much love, baby, it's reciprocal. Bringing people together, call it unity. Don't need to be Latifah to be Queen C. I give myself to create us. Strong will, success, yeah, I build it up. Through my words and my actions, create trust. Building community, baby, that's a must.
Leaders of the new school, we building dreams. So it seems they disrupt hope by any means. Generations of pain we hold in our genes. Building unity and wealth till it's busting out the seams. We build, cause the youth need opportunity. We build, cause employment over eulogies. We build, mentorship and continuity. We build, cause we got us, that's community. 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 Said we got us, that's community. Come on. We got us, that's community. We got us, that's community. Said we got us, that's community. Said we got us, that's community.
A like-minded individual, giving much love, baby, it's reciprocal. Bringing people together, call it unity. Don't need to be Latifah to be Queen C. I give myself to create us. Strong will, success, yeah, I build it up. Through my words and my actions, create trust. Building community, baby, that's a must.
Leaders of the new school, we building dreams. So it seems they disrupt hope by any means. Generations of pain we hold in our genes. Building unity and wealth till it's busting out the seams. We build, cause the youth need opportunity. We build, cause employment over eulogies. We build, mentorship and continuity. We build, cause we got us, that's community.
Said we got us, that's community.
We got us, that's community.
Said we got us, that's community. Said we got us, that's community. We build.
We got us, that's community.
We build.
We got us, that's community.
We build.
We got us, that's community.
We build.
We got us, that's community. Word.
That is Paul Willis and his band performing his song Chapter 10, Community Building. Paul is joining us now with Des Polk. Des is helped bring this project to life as the publisher. She is the CEO and founder of Destined to Shine Publishing. Des, great to meet you. Paul, great to see you again. Welcome.
Yeah.
It's great to be back.
Thank you for having us. Yeah, thank you so much for coming in. So before we get any further, tell us who's in the band.
Yeah, we have Grateful Queen, who is a vocalist, singer, rapper, poet, amazing creative. We've got Calvin on the keys.
Hey, Calvin.
Lemuel. We've got Moves CEO on the djembe. He's incredible producer, rapper, instrumentalist, multi-instrumentalist. We've got Amari Fortune on the bass.
Hey, Amari.
Okay.
That's great.
So, hip hop leadership. You've
Yes.
written a whole book about it. What does that mean?
So, in my background, I've been in education, nonprofits, community spaces, arts organizations, leadership development programs. I've been a DEI consultant. And the common through line in these experiences is leadership. There's so much that I've learned in the process about leadership. It's not just something that you're born with. It's something that you can learn. It's a skill to be developed. And so through these programs, we read a tremendous amount of books, Malcolm Gladwell, Jim Collins, and a number of other authors, but I didn't see my community reflected in those books that really focused on kind of corporate leadership or nonprofit leadership. But for me, growing up, leadership looked like my grandmother. It looked like the bodega owner who kept the tab open so that you could get groceries or what you needed, even if you didn't have the money that day. It was the OGs at the playground who told us, it's not safe for you to play here today. How about you go to the park down the street? We'll let you know when it's cool to come back around. And so there are all these stories in hip hop culture where even if you don't have access to, a Jay-Z or one of these kind of larger rappers, in the mainstream, there are people in our local community who you can look up to and learn a lot from.
So Des Polk, what's your involvement in this thing here?
Yes, well, Paul and I have a long-standing relationship, actually, going back about 8 years, I would say.
Why are you laughing when you say that, Des? How'd that start?
It's not a laugh. It's more of just beaming with joy to see how far we've come.
How'd you meet?
As artists. So actually, I have an art activist platform called Radical Black Girl. And I produced a show 8 years ago called Resistance, and Paul was one of the featured artists at that show, and that was really the seed for this to even come into fruition as one art activist to another arts educator.
Right. So what's your role in this thing 8 years later?
Yeah, so I am his publisher, also his editor of the book. So from formatting to editing to consulting on, finalizing the beautiful cover. I can't take credit for the design, but, just the iterations and the whole process, I can say that it was a labor of love. Yeah. I've read it from beginning to end, and even down to the website design. So let's plug that one more time. hiphopleadershipbook.com. Right. All of it has been a collaborative process.
He has the same smile on his face that you did, by the way. For whatever
this is a big moment.
So, Paul, this is a multimedia kind of thing. As I think I said, it's a book, it's an album, it's a curriculum. We're particularly interested in the last part of this. Tell us about the curriculum.
Yeah. So this process of writing and discovery started with the curriculum first. The last time I was here, I was working with 826 Boston.
Which we're going to talk about at 1 o'clock because of their
Very
incredibly
courageous.
bold refusal to take federal funds and drop DEI from their curriculum. That'll be a little bit later in the show, but go ahead.
And I went from being an artist performing at BAMS Fest during that interview to then becoming the managing director of the Boston Art Music and Soul Festival. When I left BAMS Fest after that year, I started working with an organization called Beat the Odds. They're a creative youth development nonprofit here in Boston, really focused on artist development and then human development, making sure that there's a focus on mental health access and resources as youth kind of pursue their creative passions and dreams. And so part of the artist development program, we were able to use this curriculum and these guiding questions around how do you identify values-based leadership within hip-hop culture for not just yourself, but also your local community, and can we find examples in the pop culture kind of mainstream media about these stories. And so we started examining hip-hop culture at those 3 different levels with a group of 14 to 24-year-olds, and after kind of having discussions that were 90 minutes, you're talking about we've got teenagers in high school who can't, have a conversation for more than 2 to 3 minutes at a time. We're engaged deeply, 60-minute conversations, 90-minute conversations about these lessons and how they're showing up for their lives. And then I challenge them to create intentionally, thinking about these values in mind. And what does art look like when we think about authenticity and self-expression? You know, how does your art change when you think about social commentary and advocating for something that you really believe in? You know, what changes in the dynamic of your collaboration when you're focused on community building?
Do you have evidence this works?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
what? Give us a good.
Yeah. So we've had multiple student showcases at Beat the Odds. Students produced songs, music videos, poetry. We were able to partner with Conservatory Lab Charter School in Dorchester. Mm-hmm. They're like a performing arts school. And I worked with their 8th grade teacher. Shout out to Miss Abby Kelling and Colgan Johnson, who brought me in to really support students there. Took over their class for about 3 weeks, and they created some amazing spoken word. And so we have, you know, those pieces, video evidence of that. We were able to align the curriculum with Common Core state standards for the 8th grade, reading, writing, speaking. All those kind of language pieces as well. So
Paul,
it works.
Paul, I think I read where you went to Nativity Prep.
I did.
Yeah,
go
I
to
mentioned
Nativity.
that because we had
had
two young men from
Great.
Nativity Prep came in. I think they were like 13, 14 years old. And they sound like they were ready to go to the United Nations. I mean, they were so impressive. And I'm just asking that because I wonder how much of a difference. It sounded like an intensive education, 7 in the morning until 7 at night, 3 or 4 days a week. How much did that matter? Because you didn't know your dad, your mom struggled, grandma's raising you, so you had some tough childhood issues. But did that matter?
Yeah, my teachers were always there for me.
Yeah.
You know, in the absence of like not having a father, my mom kind of battling with drugs and alcohol addiction. My grandmother got sick when I was 12, and so those people who we look at in our lives who would normally be there. For me, it then became my teachers and other kind of adults and mentors around me who then gave me that support that I needed. I was actually able to keynote at the Nativity San Miguel conference last summer. Yeah, and so we had educators, school leaders, principals, and administrators from all over the country through the Nativity San Miguel network at Boston College. And I shared some of my story and then how it led to hip-hop leadership. And now being able to share this with young folks, thinking about some of those, Jesuit ideals around education and community and service, and being able to kind of develop this throughout my career, taking 20 years of experience and to package it in this way is a really exciting next step of the journey.
By the way, Scotty and Newton texted after having heard Chapter 10 community building. I needed this community today. Just beautiful.
That's amazing.
Destined to Shine Publishing, obviously more than just this wonderful project. What other kinds of things you're doing, Des?
Honestly, it's such a range of authors that I'm working with. Developing a children's book series that's coming out. Shout out to Nursery Grooves. They are also Boston-based. We have a Boston-based photographer, publishing a 3-book photo series. So shout out to Afro-Centered Color Series that will also be released soon. I am working with, we have a book called AI is the New Underground Railroad. We launched that in Houston, Texas at a conference for MLK weekend. So that will be available.
Hold on, what do you mean it's the New Underground Railroad? That's an intriguing title. What do you mean?
Well, I didn't write it. I'm the editor and publisher of it, but it's all about teaching especially people of color how to utilize AI to optimize their business across industries. So it's important for just literacy within technology to not be left behind in the boom of AI. So that's what that book is about.
We'll get your website in 1 second, but before you go back and play with another performance with your colleagues there, we were reading a story about you on Channel 5 a few years ago, and they said this guy's first rap he wrote when he was 12 years old. Do you remember what it was?
Yes.
Go ahead, let's hear it.
Yeah, it went like, my name is Paul. I like to ball. When I get older, I'ma go to the mall. In the streets of JP, you'd love to see me. My face is what everyone loves to see. Riding my bike, showing off my Nikes. Riding at night gave me a little fright.
That was not a setup, by the way. I had no idea that you remembered it that well.
Yeah, I tell my students all the time, I've got raps that are older than they are.
So tell us what you're going to be performing the second time with your bandmates there, Paul Willis.
This next song is chapter 5, Storytelling and Empathy. Every song title on the album is a chapter title in the book, and so they go together.
So could you gently put your headset down and rejoin your bandmates?
Absolutely.
And Des, speaking of, is there a website where people can find out about the work you're doing?
So actually you can contact me directly at contact@dtsprintpublishing.com. I'm a print
Say it
and
again.
publishing.
Say it one more time.
Contact at dtsprintpublishing.com.
Great. Des was great to meet you. So here they are, Paul Willis and his band performing Chapter 5, Storytelling and Empathy. Welcome back to you all.
Beads in her hair, cornrows and big froze, natural, all weave, nails matching the toes. On a black women, lessons learned from my grandma's house. Gotta love her the most, cause she holding me down. This for our black queens, we gotta do better to protect. Almost 60 years, Aretha still singing for respect. You put us on the moon, and you put crowns on us, lifted our heads up high when the world looked down on us. When they jailed us, Angela Davis was organized. Maya Angelou bell hooks should be immortalized. If you saw the world rise up for black lives, that movement was led by black mothers and wives. Ain't no surprise when you see a queen doing a thing. We gotta own our own stories like the woman king. Brick by brick, she been down from the ground up, so we can have health and wealth surround us. Yes, these are the stories never told.
My heroes are she rose out of the concrete like a rose. She arose, she arose. These are the stories never told. My heroes are she arose out of the concrete like a rose. She arose, she arose. I push and triumph even when I'm sick and tired. The face of hero women here to inspire. Let's help each other, lightening the load. Looking for my peace and my joy, no time for foes. I rise up even when life's blow for blow. My future, I compose it. She wrote that I'm heroic, quick, calm, and I am stoic. She's a rose, and she knows it. Cause these are the stories never told. My heroes are she rose out of the concrete like a rose. She arose, she arose. These are the stories never told. My heroes are she arose out of the concrete like a rose. She arose, she arose. I'm black, she black, they black, we black, black. Say I'm black, she black, they black, we black, black. Say I'm black, she black, they black, we black, black. Say I'm black, she black, they black, we black, black. Say I'm black, she black, they black, we black, black. Say I'm black, she black, they black, we black, black. Say I'm black, she black, they black, we black, black. Say I'm black, she black, they black, we black, black. Cause these are the stories never told. My heroes are she rose out of the concrete like a rose. She arose, she arose.
Thank you so much for having
you.
us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
thank
being
you,
here.
thank
We have
you.
been listening to rapper, poet, author,
Thank
and
you all.
educator Paul Willis. His new album, book, and classroom curriculum is Hip Hop Leadership. Hip Hop Leadership. Find him on Instagram, Bandcamp, Spotify, everywhere else by searching for Paul Willis, Willis. Paul Willis is hip hop. And thanks too to his publisher, Des Polk. You want to give us a website one more time, Des?
Contact me at contact@dtsprintpublishing.com. hiphopleadershipbook.com. Look forward to hearing from you and bringing your book to reality.
And it's hiphopleadershipbook.com is the website.
hiphopleadershipbook.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. It's
Coming
great.
up after
Really
the
great.
news, we'll be
Thank you.
joined by former Secretary of Public Safety. Welcome to hour number 2 of Boston Public Radio. Jim Braude and Margery Eagan. We are broadcasting live from the Boston Public Library and streaming at youtube.com/GBH News. Governor Maura Healey will be with us at the library on May 9th, and the Attorney General of the Commonwealth, Andrea Campbell, will be with us on the 13th of May. Thanks. Hello again, Jim.
Hey there, Margery. Before I introduce our next guest, I just want to say what you mentioned to Paul Willis a minute ago, that he went to Nativity Prep. We had a couple of great kids on. The president of Nativity Prep,
Yeah,
Brian
I
Marr,
saw
was
that.
apparently listening and texted, "Thank you for the shout out. And it's always wonderful to witness Paul's artistry," which is really pretty great.
Yeah.
It's good for us,
Brian's
too.
a great guy.